Bishop Harvey, thanks so much for carving time out of your busy schedule to talk to us once again.
No, nothing more important than just carving out this time to reach out with you and to others.
And nothing more important in the season of our annual conference than the annual conference session.
Yeah.
Bishop, I got to tell you, it's hard to believe that we are doing annual conference yet again. It seems like just yesterday, back in November, when we had the postponed 2020 annual conference, but yet here we are again getting set for annual conference May 21st and 22nd, again online via Zoom. What are your thoughts as you head into another annual conference session?
When you said it seemed like yesterday, it really was.
Yeah.
You do have a year between annual conferences. We haven't had that this time. The good news about that is it's still pretty fresh on most of our minds on how we need to move forward, what we learned from that experience. I'm really looking forward to this, doing it a second time this way with GNTV and online, because we learned so much last year. We were really flying kind of, the building the plane while we flew it
Right,
flying
right.
by the seat of our pants, because we'd never done it this way before, right? So I think that this time we've learned a little bit. There's going to be a more of a hybrid kind of situation where there will be a hub as we had last year, and our hub was fairly limited, and it will be still, because we're still trying to limit the number of people and exposure. But we're going to have some of it live, so that we can connect better, so that we can adapt better. Some things, sometimes things happen and you need to make a change, and if you're recorded, you don't want to start over. So I think that'll be an interesting way to do it. I think the GNTV folk know us, we know them. They know what we need, probably better and more than we know what we need. So that will be helpful as well. We know where our blind spots are, and I'm really looking forward to doing this again this way.
Well, it's amazing how comfortable we are now with Zoom, holding events online from the kitchen or the garage of our home while so much is happening. We actually got some positive feedback saying, I really enjoyed this because I was able to really focus on what was being reported and what was being shared. But I know you and I know most of the people in the Louisiana Annual Conference are really looking forward to the day when we can all gather back together.
Oh, absolutely. I miss, I miss the hugs. I miss the selfies. I hope, Todd, if we could figure out how to take a photo or something of not just quote unquote the set at
Yeah,
First Methodist, but the people, it would be really great, like a big photo of the participants. But, I'm anxious for that day as well. It's just not right yet.
right.
And I know that we've got to kind of temper this idea, because people are getting a vaccine, they're getting their second vaccine, they're feeling a little freer. But what we've got to understand is that's not everybody.
Right.
And so we still have to be incredibly careful about how we gather. And I know there's been some mixed messages about that, but I want to be, again, and going back to last year, do no harm. Uh, do everything that we can to keep people safe, and just be responsible for how we gather people together. I'm with you. I'm ready to be with people in person, and I've started to venture out a little bit more myself, but I'm still very cautious. I'm still very cautious, not only just for myself, but for other people. So I want to make sure that we're in a place where we're confident that we can meet in large numbers. And our delegation, I mean, by the time we gather everybody, delegates and observers, we're over 1,000 people. I don't know about you, but not quite ready to be in a room for 3 days, with no windows, indoors, doors closed for 3 days. Yeah, I'm not ready for that. And now you made some comment about people being attentive, a little bit
Hmm.
more attentive.
Right.
I think they were. And the thing that I miss, and I know other people miss, I think they were attentive because they weren't out in the hallway checking out the Cokesbury exhibit,
Right.
or drinking
Right.
coffee with their buddy. We weren't doing those things. So when we're online, we're there. And short of, I love every once in a while a cat walks across somebody's screen when we're on Zoom. But in this method that we're gathered with the webinar, I think that there's a way for people to stay engaged and very focused for a short amount of time. And we're going to stretch the time a little bit, because one thing we learned is we didn't have enough time.
Right.
And we didn't have enough time to discuss some things that were important. So we're going to stretch the time a little bit, give people a little bit of a lunch break. And I think I think by the end of the conference, we'll all feel better about the work that we did.
I want to encourage everyone to head to our website. Registration is now open for the 2021 annual conference. You can find the information at the bottom of your screen and head to our website and register today. Just a reminder that guests do not need to register because it will be live streamed on our Facebook page and on our website. So if you are a delegate, we encourage you to register. And Bishop Harvey, the theme this year is story. It is one word, simple yet profound at the same time, because story is in many ways what grounds us, right? It's what grounds us as a species, and it's also what grounds us as Christians. How are you reflecting on story?
I think we're all part of a bigger story, the biblical story. We're part of one another's story. My story is not complete without Todd Rossnagel, or without other people that I get to share life and work with in ministry. So we're all just woven together in this beautiful story that I think we need to celebrate. And the fact is that I'm really I'm better because of the story that I get to share with you. And not just my story, but our story that we can tell together. One thing in Louisiana that we know is we do have a story to tell, right? And we've known that, and our story has centered around being a unique people with a unique identity. We're not just disaster survivors. We're much more than that. We're faithful followers of Jesus. And that to me is a story that needs to be told again and again and again. And that my story is incomplete without yours. And yours ought to be incomplete without mine. And certainly our story is totally incomplete without Jesus in it. And the stirring of the Spirit and the surprises of the Spirit that surprise us at every turn in our own personal stories. So I'm really excited about what this is going to look like and feel like and sound like. And there's a lot to work with. And the design team's working really hard. I've already gotten a glimpse of the liturgy, and it is I just say that I get chill bumps. Oh my gosh. The liturgy is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I can, and we'll have times to worship together and to weave our stories together. And the story is much stronger. That weaving, if you will, is much stronger when we're together. And we toyed. I keep using the word weaving and woven. We actually talked about using that thematic. But when it came down to it, just the simple word story seemed to be much more powerful, and how that story is shared among God's people. Called Louisiana United Methodists. So I'm really looking forward to it and excited about what it's actually going to feel like when we're together.
Well, we are all looking forward to 2021 annual conference. Again, it's hard to say that we're already at annual conference season, but here we are. Bishop Harvey, thank you so much for carving time out of your day to talk to us, and we hope to do this again very soon. But thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Great to be with you.